Bikini Prep Day 22, which means it's the first day of week 4.
Even if it makes me blind, I just wanna see the light. Breathe in, leave it all behind. I just wanna see the light. Turn up the lights in here, baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby.
The time is going fast. Not really. Still have 12 weeks to go.
All of the lights.
Bikini Prep Day 28. I don't feel like a lot of changes are happening, but maybe I'm not sticking to the Bikini Prep plan well enough. And again, my training still sucks because of my leg, but no excuses. All right, it's meal prep time. I try to keep things as basic, as simple as possible, but I still want to make sure it tastes good. Today, I'm gonna be cooking 97.3 lean chicken. 97.3, that means it's only 3% fat. So, gotta keep it lean as possible. So I'm gonna have some tips for you guys, how I make sure it tastes good, how I do everything. Just my normal meal prep between my carbs and my protein source, okay? So first thing I do is I always wanna get that pan hot, because I always wanna cook at least like 2 or 3 pounds at a time. I try to make, batches of food versus just 1 meal or 2 meals for the day. I do batches so I can have it for 2 or 3 days. I cut the chicken or the turkey, drop it in the pan. You see this one's got some slimy stuff on it. So keep my counters clean, keep my floor clean. All right. When I'm ready to eat a meal, I don't have to worry about cooking it later. Now don't forget, always wash your hands for cooking meat, right? We don't want to keep touching a bunch of different stuff. But this is my trick, okay? Write this down. This is a fluff trick for meal prep. When you're browning your ground protein, whether it's turkey, chicken, or beef, I par cook it. So what that means is I don't cook it all the way through. I cook it till it's either still pink in it if it's ground beef, it's still pink if it's turkey or chicken. I don't want it to be completely cooked through because I'm going to do something later. I'm going to drain it and put it back in the pan. Here's another tip for you guys. When you're cooking it, try to give it some time to brown before you keep flipping around and moving around, because you're not giving it enough time for it to cook. You just keep moving it. The heat's not going to get to the meat, so it takes even longer to cook. Here's my big tip if you want to make sure it tastes good. Don't season the meat now. I season the meat after I drain the fat and all the water that comes off. You'll see all the stuff that's bubbling in the pan. I wait until I season it after I drain it. That way all the seasoning doesn't go down the sink and waste all the flavor, right? The chicken is about 75% cooked all the way through. So what we want to do is we want to cut it off. We want to be careful. And then what we want to do is we want to bring it to the sink with your strainer, colander, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from. And I want to drain all of the water and fat from that chicken. Now it's time for Rice 101. If you do meal prep, if you're in the fitness industry or you're doing a show, if you don't own a rice cooker, I don't know what you're doing. Just go ahead and quit. Whatever you're measuring the rice with, measure your water with and be consistent. It's plain and simple, right? So the rule of thumb is for every cup of rice that you get, you're going to use 2 cups of liquid. So instead of using water, ta-da! Another secret. Chicken broth, vegetable broth, beef broth, whatever you want. Makes it taste good. What is this? I think this is 4, right? So 4, really fast. 5, 6, and because I know my rice cooker, it needs a little bit extra when I use just chicken broth and not water, we'll go 7. It's time to season the ground chicken. Remember how I said not to add any seasonings or flavorings yet? Okay, now this is where we're about to do it. So what I like to do is after I've drained the meat, before I put it back in the pan, I decide how I want to keep the lean protein juicy. So you have multiple options here, right? So this is a little fluff hack. So this is a bikini prep hack, whatever you want to call it. You can use The same chicken stock that we put in the rice, you can use the vegetable stock, whatever matches up with the protein you like. So I'm gonna use, you can have chicken stock, you can do red salsa or green salsa, whatever you're flavoring. You can use tomato sauce. All these all depend on your macros. So whatever these macros that fit in your meal plan, you can add that. You can also do, plain canned tomato sauce. It has not a lot of flavor, not a lot of sodium, not a lot of anything in it. You can choose that as well. But the last option you can go to is Bragg's. Do you guys know about Bragg's? If you like a lot of stir fries or salty flavor, this is a good option for you. Look into it, Bragg's Aminos. So today we're gonna go with the red salsa. This is just a Texas brand. You can go with the paste, whatever, picante, whatever you like. But this is the one I like a lot here in Texas. This is a local and not a lot of stuff into it. It's just mostly tomatoes and peppers and everything. Garlic powder, my onion powder, my black pepper, and then you can salt to taste. But I like a lot of flavor, garlic, that Italian coming out, but I love me some garlic. Always have to have onion. Even if I'm using salsa, there's still not enough onion in there for me. We have 4 pounds of meat, so don't be shy and skimp on the flavorings, or you're just going to be eating rubber. A lot of people have to reheat their food, and when you reheat it, it loses a lot of the flavor. It gets dried out. So we want to make sure this is as flavorful as possible, right? So you take the protein, is drained, right? We want to make sure we scoop it in here. Be careful not to splash all the seasonings and sauce on you, right? Now that we have it back on the stove, got the flame going, we just keep, kind of chopping it up, making sure it's, not too chunky. So because we added that salsa or sauce or whatever you put in there, you chose to do the broth or whatever, all that juice, all that liquid in there, you see that in the pan? See, that's all going to be absorbed into the meat, and that's what's going to keep it flavorful when you have to eat it for the next couple days. All right, our chicken is cooked. We're going to turn off the heat. It's still really hot, okay? So you have a couple options. You let it sit in the pan, put it off onto the burner, let it cool off for a few minutes. Or, be like me, I like to do everything really quickly. We can start putting it in our Tupperware. Try not to make a big mess like we did earlier with all the chicken broth. The rice is finished cooking. Smells delicious. Take my word for it, I'm half Asian. I know how to cook rice.